Hey there guys, the PC guy here with the news in tech and gaming for the week. It's a slow week as it always is around Christmas and New Year's. There's not a whole lot going on, but there are still some things to report. And we're starting off with a view at Intel's DG1, their first discrete GPU, at least their first attempt in the current generation to put something out there next year. The filings have been made with the EEC, or Eurasian Economic Union. Well, that's actually EU then, it's a union, not commission. In any case, the filings have been made, so it is a finalized product that they are going to bring to market. And we're going to take just a quick look at the specs. There's not actually performance records, but we can kind of guess what to expect. Tom Sarden reports on it as well, and they list it with 96 EUs. Now this could be interesting if we didn't know that this is around the same amount of EUs or execution units as, for example, the integrated GPU on their Tiger Lake series. So can we really expect anything great out of there? Well, not really. There is a rumor floating around though that they will have multi-GPU support. So this could be meant, and this is something that I heard on Linus on one show, so I'm not sure if there's anything to it, but it could be possibly something along the lines of a module to accelerate older machines with integrated graphics. Then this, you could just plug it in there, it's kind of like you do with Optane memory, and kind of work in conjunction with the GPU, the integrated GPU that is, and kind of accelerate it a little bit. It's hard to tell if there's anything to this or if it's just speculation. I did not see this listed anywhere else, mind you, so in any case, that kind of approach has not really worked very well in the past when AMD tried it, so kind of dubious if there's anything to it. If not, if this really is a discrete GPU with 96 EUs comparable to an integrated GPU, then you kind of don't really see the point in it. I get it that it's their first attempt at launching a graphics card out there, that it's their entry to the market. However, performance-wise, it's probably not going to be anything to write home about. It's going to be reasonably low-end, might be cheap, maybe the price will give you a good value proposition, but we'll have to wait and see. There might be other SKUs coming later on with more EUs, so let's keep our eyes open for that, and hopefully Intel will get some good products out there, because they really do need a win right now, and the GPU market could use some more competition to bring the prices down further. Speaking of bringing the prices down further, it seems like the GPU market next year might actually be looking at a price increase. Even though Nvidia has mentioned that their next generation high-end stuff, like on the 80 and 80 Ti level, would most likely be a little bit cheaper and, well, more efficient and better performance and this and that, and everything was better in that little leak that we saw in their comments that they made about their upcoming architecture. It turns out that the GPU memory market is going to be facing a little bit of a shortage, which could drive the prices up. So yeah, that GPU market is a little bit more volatile than normal PC memory, normal RAM, the VRAM that is used on the GPUs. It's a bit more sensitive to fluctuations, and with more and more devices requiring it, it might increase in price. Exactly how much this will mean to the final product remains to be seen. We'll have to wait and see for the products that are going to be launched next year to be able to tell how much of a difference this makes. But the alarms are ringing, and well, we'll just have to see if there really will be price drops next generation, or if the price drops that were expected to happen are going to be eaten up by the increase in the RAM prices. This will obviously also depend on competition from AMD to Nvidia's high-end lineup, if there will be a 6900 XT or something along those lines to bring the fight to the TI series on the 80s level. It's all very up in the air, but we do hope, and I've been saying this for a long time, we do hope to see more competition at the high end to bring the prices down to a more reasonable level. Because whatever way you look at it, 2-3 years ago, the 980 Ti was selling for about half the price of what the 2080 Ti is selling right now. And you kind of expect that as time goes by, technology gets better, but stays at the same price. And what we are seeing is that it does get better, but you also pay a massive price premium on top of that. Still on the topic of GPUs, there were some leaked benchmarks about the RX 5600 XT. It's supposed to be coming out sometime early next year, and how they compare to their Nvidia counterparts in terms of performance. Now they seem to be aiming this mostly at the range where the 1660 Ti is. It is kind of unknown what the pricing will be, and that really will be what makes or breaks the whole thing. It seems to show a 30% increase over the 5500 XT, so it could bring the fight to the likes of the 1070 Ti or the Vega 56, because that's around the performance level that it actually is. The value proposition of this will really completely depend on the pricing that they choose to put on it. The 5500 XT was a disappointment, not so much because the performance wasn't there, but because the pricing wasn't really competitive, and well, the value proposition goes down in that aspect. If the pricing is not adequate, then you're better off maybe getting something else for the same price that might perform better or worse, and well, does not make for an appealing product then. So the 5500 XT lineup was a disappointment in that aspect. The 5600 XT will live or die by its price. The performance is there, very competitive, very effective for the slot that they are aiming to place it on. Now it is all up to how much. Nvidia's side of things has been a bit rocky this week. They have released an emergency patch for GeForce Experience that, well, it was basically open to possible exploitations that would result in a DOS attack on the PC that is running that GeForce Experience version. On the bright side, it seems like this vulnerability required local access to actually take advantage of. On the other hand, it seemed like it was a very easily exploited vulnerability, so in some cases it might actually have been dangerous considering how easy it was to pull it off. In any case, a patch is now available, so make sure that your GeForce Experience is updated if you are running it. Most people sometimes leave it just sitting there and kind of ignore it and forget it, but it is good to patch it now and again, both for performance increases and for fixing problems like this. Last but not the least, and while we still have some light, Nvidia has also been making some kind of strange claims. They're not wrong claims, they're just strange claims to make. Like the claim that their CEO Jensen Huang has made at the GTC keynote in China, that the PS5 and Xbox would fall short of the 2080 in terms of performance. Well, that's not really any wonder, considering that the 2080 on its own will probably cost several $100s more than the next generation consoles will, and that's not even considering the rest of the PC. It would be quite strange if their performance was weaker than a console that is probably going to cost $500-ish. So that while those claims are true, they're a bit strange claims to do. It's like saying that your Ferrari it's gonna outrun your just scooter. So yeah, good job Nvidia, I guess. These were the points that I kind of wanted to touch for the week, so there was not a whole lot going on in the tech world that needed much reporting otherwise. You might have noticed that I am using a different microphone in this video. I will have a review for it next week, Tuesday most likely, so let me know both on that review and here on the comments of this video what you think of the performance of this microphone. Is it worth keeping using it, or should I keep using the headset that I was using before? I personally like this one. I feel like it gives a better sound quality and does not require as much work editing it afterwards as it does with the headset, but if you guys prefer the quality of the previous one, then well, that's what I'll keep using, because the videos are for you guys to watch in any case. There's also a new camera that I'm going to be testing soon, so I'll also ask for you guys feedback on that. But in any case, this was it as far as tech news goes. The CES 2020 is going to start on the second week of January, so we expect a whole lot of tech news to talk about then, but until then I expect things to be relatively quiet, and well, we'll be trying to do our best to get some decent content out there in the meantime before we have something more concrete to report. This has been Ethic PC Guy. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Have fun, leave a like and a comment, let me know what you think about my microphone once again, and check our other videos and consider subscribing to the channel, because that's what we really need to grow and to try to do better things, improve like I am trying to do now with the microphone, to go further than that. That's really what I am looking for a bit more engagement and viewer base. So I'll see you guys in the next video, have fun, and I'll see you later.